My name is Rania Elias, and I'm the director of Yabous Cultural Center in Jerusalem. And my presentation today will concentrate on the scene of cultural scene in occupied Palestine. And then I'll brief you about Yabous at the end, because today I'm talking about the bigger picture of culture in Palestine. This photo it means a lot to me because it's one of the roads in the old city of Jerusalem, and there was a concert in the city. The artist is Iman Helmi. She plays cello, and she's part of the Palestine National Orchestra, which belongs to the Edward Said National Conservatory of Music. Well, we always say that art and culture are helpless in the face of occupation. We think nobody is going to write a book or sing when bullets are flying around their ears or their house is being demolished. But we are mistaken, as creativity comes from places which suffers from difficult conditions and hardship like Palestine. The first two photos is the largest reading human chain around the wall of Jerusalem, which was organized with thousands of people with their books sitting for the whole day reading. Unfortunately, the organizer of this chain was killed by the Israeli occupation 2 years ago in Jerusalem. And the other photo is me in front of our cultural center when the Israeli soldiers came and closed cultural activities we organize in the city. For creative people advocates, when the role of justice and rule of law has been battered, when social services are missing and there is no freedom of expression or freedom of movement or press, the artist often takes on the role of government critique, people's advocate, community organizer, human rights defender, or even movement leader. But more importantly, they can create spaces for freedom of expressions and encounters, and place where people can feel safe, can see productivity and tangible results. This is the role of culture in Palestine, and it will continue to play this role until we are free. These two photos is for the only cinema in Jerusalem for the Palestinian people, which is at Yabous Cultural Center, where we have several activities and screenings for schools and for public as well. So now I'll go directly to the artist, which I will take each sector alone. Hello. Hello. Please have a seat. I will talk about Palestinian literature. If someone of you is interested in literature or books, if you have festivals, I don't know exactly, because I'm very much interested to know about that. We have several organizations in Palestine who are working on literature festivals, organizing book launching, meeting with a writer or a poet, in all areas, in all cities in Palestine. Palestinian literature refers to the Arabic language novels or short stories and poems produced by the Palestinians inside Palestine and in the diaspora as well. Forming part of the border genre of Arabic literature, contemporary Palestinian literature, and it's always characterized or almost by and heightened by the sense of irony and the exploration of existence themes and issues of identity, resistance to occupation, but as well loss, love, and longing for homeland. We have several writers and poets in Palestine, inside Palestine and outside, like Asma Azaize, Ali Mouassi, Wasim al-Kurdi, Ziyad Khaddash, Khalid Jum'a, Tamim al-Barghouti, Ghassan Zaqtan, Sahar Khalife, Rafif Ziyade, Ibrahim Nasrallah, Yahya Yakhlef, Mahmoud Shqir, Murid Barghouti, Marwan Maal, Rose Shomali, Suzanne Abul Hawa, Liana Badr, Dima Saman, Ihab Bseso, he's our Minister of Culture, Mahmoud Abu Hashhash, Majd Kayal, Baha Rahal, to name a few. I don't know if you've read Arabic literature or poems. Have you read some of them? A lot of books are being translated as well to different languages, to French, to English, Italian, different languages. So you can find them on Amazon and in different libraries as well if you need them. Okay. So what happened? If we start with Asma Azaizeh, Asma, I tried to find new names. It's not always Mahmoud Darwish. For sure, you have heard about Mahmoud Darwish, the very well-known, who passed away, and Samih Al-Qasim, who passed away as well. I tried to give a different aspect of that because they are very well-known, Mahmoud Darwish and Samih Al-Qasim, to concentrate on the young, new generation who are working in cultural field as well and who are still alive. Unfortunately, we lost Mahmoud Darwish. He passed away several years ago, and as well Samih Al-Qasim. Asma Azaizeh was born in 1985 in the village of Dabouria in the Lower Galilee region of Palestine. In 2006, she was qualified in BA English Literature Journalism from the University of Haifa. She's been working as a journalist and has written a number of Palestinian and Arab newspapers. Asma won the Qattan Foundation Young Writer Award in 2010, and her first collection of poetry, Liwa, published in 2011. She is active in several cultural activities, including editing the poetry section of Qadita. Her poetry has been translated into English, Germany, Farsi, Swedish, and Italian. So you can find it all over. For sure you have heard about Rafif Ziadeh. Rafif used to live in London. Now she's in Canada. She moved to Canada. She's between Canada and London sometimes. She was very well known for her poem, We Teach Life, Sir. I don't know if you saw this. I will show you part of Rafif. And Shades of Anger. She's an activist, a woman leader as well. She released her first album, and she had a powerful character when she presents poetry. So she's very well known, and she has good coverage as well in media. Her second album, We Teach Life, is a powerful collection of spoken word and original music composition, which she brings to the stage with Australian guitarist and producer Phil Mansour. She received several awards. One of them is Ontario Arts Council grant, and from the World of Mouth program to create her debut spoken word album, Hadil. And she works on several workshops. She's invited to several festivals and so on. So this is Rafif Ziadeh, and Rafif is a very well-known activist, and you can reach her on her website, www.rafifziadeh.net. Other writers, we have Wasim Al-Kurdi, who's a poet, a writer, and professional in the field of drama in education. He was born in Jerusalem. He's the director of Al-Qattan Center for Educational and Research Development. He was arrested several times in the first uprising, Intifada, and published 4 books. The first one in 1988 was Dan Moves with Henna, the second anthology of poetry, followed in 1991 with Here is the First Land, and then Knitting of Fire, and the last book was What I Do Not See, I See. I tried to translate it from Arabic to English in order for you to understand. It's all in Arabic, not in English. His books are in Arabic, but as well he's participating in different festivals around the Arab world and in Europe. Marwan Maal is Palestinian from Upper Galilee as well. His father is Palestinian and his mother is Lebanese. He lives now in Tarshiha, and he has a bachelor degree in civil engineer. His first book of poetry was published in 2007 in Beirut and Baghdad by Al Jamal publisher. That same year, they published the second edition of the book in Haifa, And the third edition as well, his poetry was translated to English, Turkish, Italian, German, French, and Serbian. He published 2 books, A Letter from a Last Man in 2002, and Passiflora, Sad Land. It's a poetry book as well in 2011. I'll go now to performing arts. We're talking about dance, theater, music, circus, stand-up comedy, and comedian. I try to give you several ideas about what groups we have in Palestine. We have a very active scene, especially in performing arts in Palestine. In dance, we have so many dance groups. In Dabke, I don't know if you know the Dabke. It's the Palestinian traditional dance, but we have as well modern dance, and we have tap, ballet, and different kind of special schools and groups. We have الفنون dance group, سرية رام الله, of group دلال, وشاح, إبداع, حنونة, and لاجئ dance troupe. These are all part, not all, the groups in Palestine. In theater, maybe Abdelfattah as well can speak more. We have the National Theater in Jerusalem, Al-Khashabe Theater in Haifa, Al-Rowwad Theater in Aida refugee camp. We have Ashtar in Jerusalem and Ramallah, Al-Hara Theater in Beit Jala, Yes Theater in Hebron, Theater Days in Gaza, and Freedom Theater in Jenin, and others. In music, we have a very active scene in music as well in Palestine. We have the National Conservatory of Music. We have musicians like Suhail Khouri, Trio Jubran. I think you know Trio Jubran for sure, they were here. Simon Shaheen, who lives in the United States. Habib Hanna from Haifa, Kamanjati School or music school. Palestinian National Orchestra. We have Palestine Youth Orchestra. We have Banat al-Quds Group, Reem Banna, Reem Talhami, singers, Dalal Abu Amne, Salam Abu Amne, Sana Musa, Hinna Al-Haj Hassan, Camelia Jubran, Nay Barghouti, and Rana Khouri. I just try to put several names for you to take an idea, but we have so many others who are as well active in the music scene. The circus, we have only one circus school in Palestine, which is the Palestine Circus School, who are based in Bir Zaid, which is a small village next to Ramallah, but they are functioning in different locations in Palestine. And stand-up comedy or comedian, we have lots of comedians in Palestine, and of course Palestinian living in the diaspora like Amir Zahar, Mo Amir, Din Ubaydallah, Maysoon Zayed, Amir Zahar, twice, sorry, I wrote it, Adi Khalifa, Imad Farajin, and Nidal Badarne. Yes. She's an amazing comedian. Yes, she was here. Fantastic lady, huh? لا ميسون زيادة عم بحكوا. And Camelia is amazing. She's working with Swiss artists, and Camelia was part of a very well-known Sabrine group in Palestine, but they are not functioning anymore as a group, so she's now alone working. Yes, yeah, Camelia and Noah. Okay. So the dance, Dabke is an Arabic folklore dance. In Palestine, local dance troupes are reinventing it as a means of preserving traditional culture and reflecting contemporary life in the Palestinian area in Palestine. It can be danced by men, women, or both together. With different steps and different rhythms. Dabke is a dance of community, often performed at weddings and other joyous occasions. However, it is also a dance of solidarity and a way of expressing nationalism. Palestinian society was introduced as well to contemporary dance, ballet, modern dance, hip-hop, and capoeira dance. We have as well several groups. And Palestinian dance troupes are like الفنون, سرية Ramallah, Of, Dalal, Wishah, Ibda', Hanoune, Laje dance group, and others. So we have different dance groups in Palestine. الفنون dance troupe, they've been touring all over the world. They are very well-known group. It is an independent, non-profit artistic organization, voluntary-based as well. It was established in 1979 by a small number of artists and talented, committed artists. Since then, Funun has been crowned as the lead Palestinian dance company in Palestine, as well as in the exile. It holds an impressive track record of over 1,000 performances locally and internationally. It also produced 15 productions they have and over 10 dance scenes. Since its inception, Al-Funun has aimed at expressing the spirit of Arab-Palestinian folklore and contemporary culture through unique combination of traditional and stylish dance and music. We have another dance group, which is Ushaq Dance Group. It's a dance group in Jerusalem. It's a very young dance group who started several years ago. And they have more than 400 dancers, and they trained the young generation as well. They have two productions, إحنا هون, We Are Here, which was performed in 2005, and then Hajal in 2007, and participated in several festivals and events inside and outside Palestine. Ushaq is functioning really well, and they have performed in Algeria, in Kuwait, in Dubai, and in several festivals, and they can travel easily as well abroad. This is one of the performances, but I can't play it here because it's not working on YouTube, sorry. Ibda Dance Troupe, it was established in 1994 to revive as well the Palestinian folklore and Palestinian, it speak about the Palestinian pain and hope. And they try to spread the Palestinian cause across the world through the language of art. They participated in more than 30 countries all over the world. It started in Habash refugee camp. The Habash refugee camp is in Bethlehem. And we have 3 refugee camps in Bethlehem, Azza, Aida, and Habash refugee camp. They are as well, they tour in different countries, and they are available and can participate in different festivals if you are interested in Ibda. If we come to music, we have a very active cultural music scene in Palestine. We have the Palestine National Conservatory, the National Conservatory of Music, which they have 7 branches in Gaza, in Nablus, in Hebron, in Bethlehem, in Jerusalem, in Jericho, and as well in refugee camps in Lebanon. They have more than 2,000 students. We have artists, to name few, like Suhail Khouri, Trio Jubran, Simon Shaheen. We spoke at the beginning when we started presenting them. Dalal Abu Amne is a beautiful lady and a beautiful voice as well. She's from Nazareth. She became professional artist at the age of 16. And she participated in different festivals around the world, in the United States, in the Arab world as well. She tries to sing well-known cultural songs in Palestine, but have as well her own composition for her own music and songs. She released her album entitled Baladi, My Land. And it is influenced by diverse musical methods, but as well maintaining the spirit of tarab. We have in Palestine and in the Arab world something called tarab. And she has some contemporary dynamics as well in her production. She's studying doctorate in neuroscience in the Faculty of Medicine at the Technical Institute in Haifa. Dalal has been touring in several countries, and she's available, and she has her own group as well where she can travel with. The Palestine Youth Orchestra was created in 2004 by the Edward Said National Conservatory of Music, with a vision of bringing together young Palestinian musicians from around the world. So they have around 100 musicians in the Palestine Youth Orchestra. And as well, there's this, they have been touring and performing in Palestine, Germany, Jordan, Syria, Bahrain, Lebanon, Greece, France, Italy, and the United Kingdom. They are around 80 young musicians of Palestinian origin residing around the world who are between the age of 14 and 26 years of age. They're available and they can tour as well for festivals or concerts. This is the YouTube. Banat al-Quds, it's a group from the National Conservatory of Music. The conservatory was established in 1993. And they try to have as much students to join playing different Oriental and Western instruments. And the Banat al-Quds was born out of an effort by the conservatory to challenge the audience perspectives, especially regarding musical taste and the role of women in solo performances. Suhail Khouri is the General Director of the National Conservatory of Music, where he composes music and conducts as well the group. The group performed in Greece as well last year, in Bahrain, in Dubai, and they won as well a very prestigious award for the best choir in Dubai last year. This is a video where I was supposed to play it, but I can't. Nay Barghouti is another singer. She plays flute. She launched her professional singing career in 2011 at the age when she was 14 years old with Munyati, a full program of classical Arabic songs and tarab. She performed as well in Cairo, Kuwait, and several Palestinian cities, including Jerusalem, Ramallah, Akka, Bethlehem, Haifa, Nazareth, and as well in Beirut. She's undergraduate degree in jazz performance, focusing on jazz voice, where she is exploring the relationship between tarab, the Arab tarab, and jazz. She performed as well at the UN headquarters in New York in November 2013 for the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, and in France, Britain, and European countries. She's studying now. She moved to Rotterdam, and she's available as well with her group to perform. If we're talking about the Palestinian Circus School, I told you it's the only circus school that we have in Palestine. It's a non-profit, non-governmental organization established in 2006 in Palestine and registered at the Palestinian Authority. They teach as well, beside Birzeit, in Jenin, Hebron, Ramallah, Jerusalem, Al-Far'a refugee camps. And it encouraged the development of a new form of cultural expression, a new generation of artists in Palestine. You can see their website as well, and you can contact them directly, or I can help you as well reach them if you are interested in circus. In theater, I try to speak about different groups in theater. We have Yes Theater, for communication among youth. It's a Palestinian as well non-governmental organization established in 2008. Yes Theater believes that theater and drama can positively influence the children and youth to create a change in their society. Therefore, it works to inspire Palestinian children and youth in general and those in Hebron in particular. They are based in Hebron. If you have been to Palestine, you know the situation in Hebron. It's a very difficult situation. So Yes Theater is working there and they're doing a great job. You can see as well their website and you can see more about them. Theater Day production, they want drama, theater, and creative activities to be a regular part of the lives of the people, young people as well. They used to work in Jerusalem and Gaza, but now in Hebron, but now they are more working in Gaza, inside Gaza. As well, they have several programs inside schools. They work with schools and with kids, and they do training programs as well. You can see as well their website on the screen. For theater, we spoke about different theater groups at the beginning when I went through the names of groups, but I spoke here about 2 groups. You can have more information about theater as well from Abdelfattah, because he's very specifically, he works in theater and he knows all about the theater groups in Palestine. If we're talking about stand-up comedy and comedian, as well, we have several people who are working in this field. They represent new generation of Palestinian comedians, focusing much of their comedic presentation on Palestinian, Arab, political, social, and cultural issue. Okay. Imad Farajian, he's as well very well known in Palestine. He started by writing plays in 2002. He studied acting at the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts. He performed with Al Qasaba Theatre, which is as well was a very well known theatre in Ramallah. A very well known as well a play that they worked on, its stories under occupation. I don't know if you have heard about it. And then in 2007, he won the Al Qattan Foundation Young Writer Award for his play Chaos. His play 603 was presented as a staged reading at the Royal Court Theatre in November 2008 and Al Bala Theatre in Amman, Jordan in February 2009. So Imad as well is a very well-known person where you can reach easily. And if we move to visual arts, we have so many well-known artists in Palestine, starting with photography and drawings or cartoonists and so on. We have Ahedis Himan, Ahlam Shibli, Ahmed Dari, Bashar Lehroub, Mohammed Sabani, Khalil Abu Arafe, Kamal Bullata, Khalid Hurani, Khalil Rabah, Muna Hattoum, نبيل عناني، نمير قاسم، رنا بشارة، رولا حلواني، سامية حلبي، سليمان منصور، تمام الأكحل، فيرا تماري، دينا مطر، شريف سرحان, and Muhammad Jawahri and Yusuf Qatalo. As I said, we have a choreographer, we have cartoonists, we have caricatures, we have video artists, installation and photographer, and as well visual arts. Muhammad Sabane is a very well-known cartoonist. When he was asked why his cartoons appeared so dense, Sabane has compared his paper to the land. His drawings are dense because they reflect the difficulty of fighting Palestinian existence into a land that grows every day narrower and more fragmented by the Israeli occupation. Muhammad Sabane was as well in jail several times because of his cartoons. And he was arrested while he was coming in at the bridge, traveling from Amman to Palestine. He participated in several exhibitions around the world as well, and he's willing as well to tour with his cartoonist work. Dena Mattar, I'm very fond of this woman. She's from Gaza. She's a young artist who was graduated from Al-Aqsa University in BA with Fine Art and Education. Her paintings have been included in exhibition in Switzerland, in France, in Jerusalem, Ramallah, and Gaza, and were previously exhibited in the opening exhibition at the Mosaic Rooms Occupied Space 2008 in London. And she's a member of Al-Tiqa Artist Collective in Gaza City. She has a beautiful work, and she's selling her work. She's living from selling her work while she's in Gaza. This is part of her work. Rana Shara is as well very well known. She toured with her work. She's from Tarshiha, from 1948 land. She's very strong in her work, where she expressed several dynamic and dialectics in her creative work. She divides her attention between conceptual and intuitive expression, and this creates a division in her work which allows the parts to enrich each other. Part of her work, on the right hand, this was part of an exhibition that we took to Copenhagen, and it was put in a room, and she worked for 3 days installing the whole work made of maps and papers. And this is her second work. And this is part of her participation in demonstrations. The things on her body is when they arrest people, they put things around their hands. Plastic. So she used it to make it as a kind of art to express what it means for her. Nabil Anani, I'm sure you know Nabil Anani. He's one of the elder generation in visual arts, born in 1943, one of the founders of the contemporary Palestinian art movement. He graduated from Alexandria University and then returned to Palestine to start his career as a trainer and UN training college in Ramallah. He has beautiful pieces. His first exhibition was in Jerusalem in 1972, so you can imagine how much he has produced within his life, thousands of art pieces as well, and he exhibited widely in Europe and still as well in North America, Middle East, North Africa, and Japan. I will show you. He sells his pieces and it's very expensive. This is one of the artists that is being one of the prominent, well-known artists as well. This is a second piece. His pieces reach around $40,000 or something like that. Cinema, we have as well a very active scene in cinema. We have so many directors, producers, actors, and they have reached as well all the international arena. I mean, they participated in different festivals, in Cannes, in Berlinale Film Festival, and their films have been screened in all around the world. We have between directors and actors and actresses, we have Amin Naife, Anne-Marie Jasser, Azza Al-Hassan, Elias Liman, Imad Burnat, Hany Abuassad, حازم بيطار، خالد جرار، ليلى صنصور، مي مصري، ميشيل خليفة، محمد سوالمة، محمد شحادة حميدات، محمد بكري، منتصر مرعي، نجوى نجار، رائد أندوني، رشيد مشهراوي، رفعت عدي، سامح زعبي, who was here. Somebody told me that he was here. Yes, he was here several months ago. اسكندر قبطي, طارق العريان, توفيق أبو وائل, and Yahya Barakat. Some of them are based in Palestine in different cities, and others who are in the diaspora or living in New York or in other places. May Masri recently, producing her work tackles subject as far as reaching war, rape, identity, and love. As I said, several film directors have reached Oscar, Cannes, Berlinale, Dubai Film Festival, to name a few. May Masri is from Nablus. Was raised in Beirut, where she has lived most of her life. She graduated from San Francisco State University in 1981. Soon after that, she returned to Beirut and began making films. She focuses on Palestine and the Middle East and won awards and film festivals throughout the world. She has different films Under the Rubble since 1983 until 2015. She has 11 films. The latest was 3,000 Nights, which was as well, I don't know, you saw the film?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
A very nice film. It's
yes.
a very nice film because it speaks about Palestine and according to the artistic creation, it's really a good film.
Yeah, it's an amazing film, and she won several awards for her film. You can see her films as well. You can download her films, the old films, and you can buy the films as well on DVDs or whatever. Raid Andoni is from Bet Sahour. Bet Sahour is a city just next to Bethlehem. We have Bethlehem, Bet Jala, and Bet Sahour. Known now for his latest film, Ghost Hunting, in 2017. Fix Me 2009 and film albums 2012. Raed Andoni Ghost Hunting won the first ever Silver Bear for Best Documentary 2017 at the Berlinale Festival last year. It discussed about former prisoners discuss the prison life at under the Israeli occupation and main interrogation center, which is called Al-Maskoubiya. I think you should look for this film. It's very interesting, and Raed is a very interesting person as well, and willing as well to screen his film around. You know Hany Abuassad as well? Hany Abuassad lately produced Hollywood movies, so he reached Hollywood as well. Was born to a Palestinian family in the city of Nazareth. He migrated to the Netherlands. He was in the Netherlands in 1981. And he worked as an airplane engineer for several years. He produced several films since 1992 until 2017. The latest is The Mountain Between Us. The Mountain Between Us is produced now with very well-known actors and actresses in the world. And he has several documentary films. I really suggest that you invite Hany Abuassad, very interesting person, and you can screen his film and then open a discussion with Hany. And now, since I'm in Jerusalem, I asked to concentrate as well the presentation on active cultural centers in Jerusalem, where as well you can have relation with institutions in the city of Jerusalem. You have Yabous Cultural Center, and this is, maybe you can pass it. It's like a small brochure about the center, which I'm the director of the center. We have the National Conservatory of Music, the Palestine National Theater, Al-Ma'mal Foundation for Contemporary Art, and Palestinian Art Court Al-Hosh. And we joined all together and formed a network called Shafaq. We're interested as well to have cooperation with other networks in Europe and the world. National Conservatory of Music, as I said, it's a distinguished institute for music education in Palestine, was established in 1993 under the umbrella and board of trustees of Birzeit University. I don't know if you know about the universities in Palestine. We have several universities. One of them is Birzeit. They teach music to Palestinians wherever they are and contribute to the strengthening of the cultural and national identity of Palestinians. And they offer a wide range of activities that aim to provide the Palestinian society with qualified musical human assets and increase the interest in the appreciation of music, with 5 branches in Jerusalem, Ramallah, Bethlehem, Nablus, and Gaza, in addition to about 250 students from the outreach program. Al-Ma'mal Foundation for Contemporary Art is a non-profit organization in the old city of Jerusalem. If you have been to Jerusalem, it's at the new gate, one of the gates of Jerusalem. Al-Ma'mal serves as an advocate for contemporary art, and as well they work in art projects in Jerusalem. They invite artists for residency, and they try to develop, produce, and present their work to the public. Palestinian Art Court Al-Hosh, as well, it's a gallery, and they work on 4 main categories: exhibition, collectors' rooms, public art lab, engaged art, and the platform, which includes a public art library, art talks, creative industry, and showcase for young designers. The Palestinian National Theatre Al-Hakawati is the oldest theatre and institution in Jerusalem. It was founded in 1984, established by Al-Hakawati Theatre Group as the first Palestinian theatre and specialized in theatre. The main goal of the theatre is to support and develop Palestinian art in general and the theatre in specific. And they've been producing and performing plays all around the world as well, and is open to the public in Jerusalem. Yabous Cultural Center, this is the institution which I ran. I don't know if you know, Yabous is the first name of Jerusalem 5,000 years ago. We have a vision of instilling and reviving culture and arts in Jerusalem that meets the needs of the people, including children, irrelevant of gender, color, or religion. It serves all segments and all ages and backgrounds. It reaches out to the most vulnerable groups. We have outreach programs as well, and we have several cultural activities. We have festivals. The yearly Jerusalem Festival, we have organized so far 20 festivals. It's a world music festival in July, jazz festival, storytelling festival, international comics festival, film festivals, Al-Quds Festival for popular arts, and Ramadan musical nights. We have literary activities, literature readings, panel discussion, and book launching. We have children program, theater activities, storytellings, fun clubs for kids, and art summer camps. We have cinema, the only cinema at the Palestinian side in Jerusalem. And we have regular screenings. We have art exhibitions as well, first exhibition for young artists, and we have cultural weeks and cultural workshops. We have several halls at the center. The first picture is a hall for 400 capacity with orchestra pit. The second one is the cinema for 81 seats. Mahmoud Darwish Lounge is for exhibitions at the center as well. And this is what we hope to have with cultural actors and institutions in Luxembourg, how we can cooperate together, how we can promote arts and culture as well in Palestine. I was thinking about twinning between Palestine and specifically between Jerusalem, Al-Quds, and art centers here, or groups or networks as well. We have experience and work on several networks with Ile-de-France, with several universities, with several groups as well, Gothenburg University. So it's open for a discussion as well. We would like you as well, if you are interested, inviting Palestinian artists to your institutions, to your festivals, to your cultural programs and events in Luxembourg. Maybe doing a Palestinian week in Luxembourg or doing a Luxembourg week in Palestine as well. So we have artists coming from here to Palestine, and we have artists from Palestine coming here. Or we could have an exchange program and workshop. It doesn't have to be just a performance, but rather have joint activities between artists in different fields, in music, dance, literature, theater, and cinema. And I'm ready to answer any question. This is my email. I try to put it on the leaflet as well. And I will be glad to help you to reach artists in Palestine, groups, wherever they are, if they are based in Palestine or outside, because we're very much interested to introduce our artists in Luxembourg.
Myself, my name is Abdelfattah Abusrour. I am founder and director of Rowwad Cultural and Arts Center in Aida refugee camp, Bethlehem. And I guess we were among the first children theater groups in Palestine. When Abdel was established, I created for them, in fact, the first play called Mayme, Tent, because I was freshly coming back from France after my studies, where I stayed 9 years doing my studies in biological and medical engineering, in fact. But my heart was with theater, with painting, with photography. So this was a great combination. And the philosophy of Rowwad is that how to save lives, how to empower young people and inspire hope. In a refugee camp like Aida, where lives about 6,400 people on a space of almost 10 acres, without much of playgrounds or green spaces, and as some of you know, surrounded by this illegal wall of expansion and annexation since 2005, with 5 towers of snipers, cameras of surveillance, and until these days incursions by the Israeli occupation army. So the idea was how to give our children and young people every possibility to express themselves in the most beautiful, creative, and hopefully non-armed ways, and see their potential living for Palestine rather than dying for Palestine. Because at the end of the day, we want to see our children grow up, celebrate their lives and their successes, and hopefully when the time comes, they will be the ones walking in our funerals and not the other way around. So that's why we talk about culture of life. And when Rafif Ziada said, we teach life, sir, I say we master the art of life, in fact, and not the art of death. Because at the end of the day, no country in the world can live on the corpses of its children. We started with theater for children, and I guess we were among the first to be really working as a professional children theater troupe, because usually it was adults performing for children. Because I wanted them to speak themselves, to talk about their dreams, their hopes, and so on. And theater is one of the most amazing and powerful and truthful way to express yourself. Tell your story, your version of your history, and hopefully build the peace within you to be able to build it around. Because I don't believe if you are not truthful with yourself, you can be truthful with anybody. And if you don't have peace within you, how you can build peace within your own home? So that was the idea, what I called beautiful resistance against the ugliness of Israeli occupation and its violence. Not everybody wants to do theater, so we added dance, singing, music, photography, video. We toured in Sweden, Denmark, France, Belgium, Austria, United States of America, United Kingdom, and Luxembourg, and Turkey, and so on with our theater or dance troupes. And the idea was how to go and show also our children normal life in free countries, without checkpoints, without tear gas, without occupation, and how to build these bridges among us as human beings, to see that we share a lot of things, and these similarities should bring us closer to each other, and see also that we have differences which should enrich us and not marginalize us and make us afraid from each other. And at the end of the day, we are equally human beings. We share and defend these values that we call justice, freedom, peace, equality, love. And this is whether we are Muslim or Christian or Jewish or Buddhist or Hindu or atheist or whatever we are. So these values don't change based on Mr. Trump's dictation or whoever dictation. Palestinians have been carrying on a lot of activities. Almost 99% of Palestinians never carried a gun in their life, even though it is a legitimate right to resist occupation through armed struggle and non-armed struggle. But mostly Palestinians also mastered non-armed struggle, even before Gandhi started his non-violent resistance. I prefer the terminology non-armed struggle rather than non-violence, because I cannot qualify resistance as an act of violence in a sense. And so that's why I guess the currency of Palestinian struggle is through non-armed struggle rather than armed struggle. And arts are among these ways that people can build for the future, show this other image of Palestine that is usually not shown in the media, be on this human level that is not usually shown about Palestinians. We only see images of misery, occupation, oppression, destruction, which is a current thing in our life. But on the other way, we kind of have surpassed our capacities as human beings and master the art of beauty and life and building and looking for the future and raising our children to be educated. And we have among the highest educated people with highest degrees in the world compared to the number of population. Uh, Within the theater, I was the president of the Palestinian Theater League between 2009 to 2013, which was 14 periods. So as Rania said, I know a lot about the 28 theater groups that are within the West Bank, Jerusalem, part of Gaza. Of course, there is another part in Palestine, 48 as well, which do collaborations with other groups. And we do collaborations as theater groups within ourselves sometimes as Palestinians, but also with international groups. This summer we were, last summer we were in Orchestra, for example, in France, with a theater group that we co-created a show together. They are coming next summer, this summer in fact in August to Palestine as well to co-create another thing through a European project. But there is collaborations like this, people coming to perform in Palestine. We go and perform in other theaters like Rania have said, whether it's within the dance or within the theater, even within the circus, sometimes the training collaborations, and so on. So this is an open window for us to be real change makers, because politics have failed us on a lot of levels. And I believe that everybody is important and everybody is a change maker. And none of us has the right to say, I can't do anything, or it's too complicated, or it's hopeless. Simply, I say we don't have this luxury of despair. So we do what we have to do, hopefully others will join. But even if they will not join, we will continue to do what we have to do, because this is our commitment to our children and to your children and the generations to come, to make every day that comes hopefully more beautiful than the day that goes, instead of just sitting down and complaining that everything is bad and we want to accuse somebody else. It's always the fault of someone else. So we can't just wait for miracles to happen. We need to provoke them to happen. And artists and culture and education are the highest and biggest way to make such change, to give our children alternatives to this media stereotyping and brainwashing and this continuous diabolization of the others because they are different, which in fact there is no difference in fact. So that's why I guess I second Rania in telling that twinning, building these relations, encouraging such collaboration and opening bridges that make a change, real change, and show this other image of Palestinians and Europeans and others that is not usually shown within the political context, where everybody will judge people according to the politics of their country rather than the real connections that we have among us as human beings. Among puppet groups in Palestine like Tantura or Qafila in Jerusalem and Ramallah, or theater groups that work with children and adults like Rowwad or Al-Hara or Yes Theater, which is also the son of Theater Day Productions, because it was the first training that I'm in their board as well, the Theater Day production. So they are now working mainly in Gaza, but they started also in Hebron, which is a hard city to work theater with. It's very conservative, but it's also one of the highest apartheid areas where it is really visible with the segregation that the Israeli settlers are doing within a small community and making life of Palestinians a hell there. With different groups like this, access to Gaza is not easy, and traveling unfortunately is not easy. So sometimes we correspond through Skype or whatever, but we can't most of the time work together. And if we are lucky, we could work in another country sometimes if they can leave. But within the West Bank also, within Bethlehem area and Hebron area, I also can help, and even Jerusalem, because half of my life is in Jerusalem as well. We can help in facilitating connections, or ourselves as well as artists and art practitioners to connect either with our groups or with other groups that you are interested in, to build the bridges. Theater people are struggling on different levels despite the successes and winning international prizes and so on for their shows, because unfortunately theater and arts are not a priority in most of the fundings. They are the first to be taken money from. So it is a real struggle. And for me, arts are a pure humanity, because these are the things that we identify with. You can see a film, you can see a theater play or a musical or a dance show, and you will not say, I will not like it because it's British or American or French. You will like or don't like based on how much it touches you. And that's the purity of this art as a human value that we can share together, and we should encourage rather than the guns and violence and all this diabolization, as I said. So I'll probably stop here, but I will end also with a French thing that I always value and I like to share, which is what makes us do what we really need to do and continue doing what we need to do. You know Cyrano de Bergerac, quand il dit « Et que faudrait-il faire? Chercher un partenaire puissant, prendre un patron, et comme un lierre obscur qui surconvient un tronc, et s'en fait un tuteur en oubliant l'écorce, grimper par ruse au lieu de se lever par force? Non, merci. Dédié comme tous le fond des verres aux financiers, se changer en bouffon dans l'espoir vil de voir aux lèvres d'un ministre naître un sourire enfin qui ne soit pas sinistre? Non, merci. Déjeuner chaque jour d'un crapaud, avoir un ventre usé par la marche, une peau qui plus vite à l'endroit du genou devient sale, exécuter de tours de souplesse dorsale? Non, merci. Calculer, avoir peur, être blême, préférer faire une visite qu'un poème, rédiger, déplacer, se faire présenter? Non, merci, non, merci, non, merci. Mais chanter, rêver, rire, passer, être seul, être libre, avoir l'œil qui regarde bien, la voix qui vibre, mettre quand il vous plaît son feutre de travers, pour un oui, pour un non, se battre ou faire un vers. Lors même qu'on n'est pas le chêne ou le tilleul, n'est pas monté bien haut peut-être, mais tout seul. Et j'ai dit souvent, mais avec vous quand même ça sera mieux, parce qu'on est tous partenaires à part égale pour créer un monde dont on peut être fier. Et lorsque un de nos enfants, ou vos enfants, ou n'importe quels enfants viennent nous regarder en face et disent « Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait pour que ça change? Quel héritage nous avez laissé ?» Je ne pense pas qu'on sera fier de dire bah, « Je pensais que le président va le faire, ou le roi, ou la reine, ou quiconque. » Ça, c'est notre responsabilité. Comme artiste, comme éducateur, comme parent, comme être humain, ça, c'est l'héritage que nous voulons. Un héritage où chaque jour qui vient doit être meilleur que celui qui s'en va. Donc je vais m'arrêter là pour donner l'espace pour des questions. Merci.